chance of scoring here.
The DH for today's ball game, number 18, Tommy Rowland, looks to break this game open with Nick Ripa leading off a third and 2 outs as the lefty takes the pitch. Ball will be fouled. It'll be in play, however. It'll be down the third base line. That ball will be in foul territory. It'll drop as Ty Beasley was converging on the ball, but it'll drop in foul territory. So that was almost a bang-bang play as Ty Beasley and the third baseman for the Red Raiders, Nick Chenez, were converging in on the ball.
Yeah, good effort there by the Red Raiders, but a little bit of discombobulation as, you know, you got 3 guys kind of all trying to corral under the same ball, the sun kind of in your eyes too. So a tough play there, not something that you think should be accepted or given to you. So good work there by the Red Raiders, but couldn't get the die there.
After the drop foul ball, Tommy Rowland will get another chance here with the 0-1. Spreitzer delivers home. Ball will be grounded down the first base line. It'll be corralled over there at first base by Connor Wise. And the Red Raiders get out of that one with no damage done. Bombers get 1 hit, no runs, 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. The Red Raiders look to get some runs on the board. Welcome back. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Glad we could get it back. If we got one out here after Blair Spees got out to lead off the inning. Chris Calhoun is up to the plate here with a 1-0 count, as he will foul that one right across over the press box, but it'll drop just to the right of the press box. It'll be a count knotted up at 1 apiece. 1-1. You can see it's a beautiful day here in Omaha, Nebraska, as the Corn Belt season is just about waning down here, as championship game tomorrow, but the Corn Belt League itself will still be sending some players to Wichita, Kansas, as that ball will be in there for strike one. Strike two, excuse me. Aaron Petty working quickly with the 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Aaron Petty, who comes into this one with a 1.74 ERA. Will be inside and a little bit high. It'll be knotted up at 2 apiece, as the ever so dangerous Dylan Brisboy is lurking in the on-deck circle. He's batting cleanup today for the Red Raiders, as you can see on your screen. As Calhoun grounds that one over to short, it will not be thrown in time. Good stop over that short by Dalton Farron, but could not get the throw out. And Chris Calhoun is the first base runner today for the Red Raiders, and Braden Jackson, the second baseman for the Red Raiders, has a chance to get things rolling and keep them rolling for the Red Raiders.
Okay, so Colton, I think what's happening is every time we move our camera, it's just disconnecting. So when you're moving it, just be a little bit gentler. We have it like cropped up here in a certain way. Ready, 1 to go, 1-2, you can reset. Sorry, I kept you on that shot for a little bit too long.
Braden Jackson gets ready, the lefty. Little lefty on righty matchup, should be advantage hitter, as Petty comes home with the first pitch, and it'll be a ball inside, 1-0. This whole Red Raiders team is very fast. They led the Corn Belt League regular season in stolen bases, and they have 2 of the top 3 stolen basemen in the league. As you can see, Calhoun fakes like he's going, but does not go. It'll be ball 2 inside.
Yeah, speed kills here in the Corn Belt League, so I think that the Red Raiders' ability to be able to steal bases and to get onto bases quickly is what has positioned them so high in the Corn Belt League standings for the playoff bracket here.
100%, as Aaron Petty, working down 2-0, comes home. It'll be a 3-0 count. It'll be interesting to see if Braden Jackson gets the green light here on the 3-0. You would have to assume probably not, as it's still early on in the game, unless it's your pitch. As Chris Calhoun is off, it'll be a called strike, and he'll be in there with the stolen base, spoken into existence with the speed. And now there will be a runner in runner in scoring position. Fumbling over my words there, I apologize. 3-1 count here to Braden Jackson. He has the opportunity to get the party started for the Red Raiders. As Chris Calhoun needs a quick second to tie his shoes on second base, and that'll give the opportunity for the pitcher-catcher duo today for the Omaha Bombers, Josh Poston and Aaron Petty, to talk some things over and game plan a little bit.
You're the one who put it there. No, it's not. No, I'm not. I think I'm the one who did all this.
Braden Jackson has not swung at a pitch yet this at-bat, and he's seen 4 pitches.
Love that shot.
The 3-1. It'll be in the dirt. Braden Jackson draws a 5-pitch walk.
Keep track of 2, ready, 2-on-2.
And now the ever so dangerous Dylan Brisboy, who in their game yesterday against the Haymakers had a 2-run home run in the 6th inning that really propelled them over the Haymakers. He's got 3 home runs on the year. Leads the Corn Belt League in 4-baggers. Chris Calhoun on second. Braden Jackson leaving off of first. And Dylan Brisboy will take strike 1, and Brisboy was not content with that call. Brisboy had to do a double take at the umpire, the home plate umpire. Petty looks back at Calhoun at second, comes home. Calhoun is off and running, and he will be in there with the stolen base, the clutch stolen base by Chris Calhoun. And we've got runners at the corners as Chris Calhoun stole second, and then about 4 pitches later stole third.
Yeah, quick 2 stolen bases there for Calhoun. The Red Raiders are really moving quickly here, trying to get the one up on the Bombers.
As Brisboy wants to stay away from the double play ball here with 1 out and runners on the corners. The 1-1. It'll run inside, and he will get out of the way. It'll be a 2-1 count for Dylan Brisboy.
Make sure your cores are all the way tight. Oh my goodness, 3 on 3. Ready 1 on 1. 2 you can
Aaron Petty comes set with the 2-1 pitch, strides home. Ball will be grounded over in front of the Bombers' dugout on the first base side. It'll be 2-2.
2 on 2. Hold steady.
I wonder what the approach would be as a pitcher pitching to a man like Dylan Brisboy, who is so dangerous at the plate. He can mash.
Ready 1 on 1.
The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch to Brisboy. Brisboy laces that one into right field. That ball will drop for a base hit. Brain Jackson rounds second, heading to third. Chris Calhoun comes across to score. Runners at the corners, and the Red Raiders get their first run of the ball game off of a Dylan Brisboy RBI single to right field.
And that's exactly how you do it right there. Keep basically keeping base runners in the same position. Runners are still on the corners here, but you just added 1 run to your score now, and you have an early lead to a team like the Bombers. So that's very, very, very efficient work there by Brisboy.
As Austin Cheever comes up to the plate, Ty Poor will be running for Dylan Brisboy. It's a courtesy runner for your catcher situation over there at first base. But the designated hitter today for the Red Raiders, Austin Cheever, gets his first at-bat in the ballgame with the runners on the corners. He'll ground that one up the middle, a double play ball, but decides to throw it to first anyway. And that'll be the second out of the inning. But the run does come across the score, so despite the ground out, Austin Cheever gets another RBI for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, Red Raiders really moving quickly here. You can kind of see now, if you haven't watched much of the Red Raiders this season, why they're ranked 3 in the playoff seeds here.
They're a very electric team, as the third baseman today for the Red Raiders, number 6, Nick Chenez, gets ready for his first plate appearance and takes ball 1 outside. The Red Raiders have put on 2 runs, and they can easily put on some more with Ty Poor, the courtesy runner for Brisboy, standing at second.
Ready 3 on 3. Ready 1 on 1.
The 1. Ball will be fouled back and out of play.
Ready 2 on 2.
It'll be a 1-1 count.
Fans, we ask that you please turn off foul balls to the front gate
3 on 3.
for a piece of bubble gum.
This Red Raiders lineup is very deadly. They can pretty much go 10, 11 deep.
Ready 1 on 1. Yeah, Colton, after
They can put some runs up on you in a hurry. You blink and then they're up.
1 on 1.
Petty comes home. Misses just a little bit high for ball 2.
Petty is not having a good night.
Not a good start.
Petty from Millard North, a local product here in the Corn Belt League. Comes up but decides to look back. Ty Poor. And Chenez will wait for the 2-1.
Ready 1 on 1.
Fouls that one straight back into the backstop. 2-ball, 2-strike, 2-out pitch. Due up here for Nick Chenez. Chenez gets in his rhythm as Petty comes set. The 2-2. Holds back, does not go. That'll be ball 3 in the dirt. Full count here for Nick Chenez. Full count pitch ready for Nick Chenez as Petty delivers. That ball will be hit in the air. That ball will drop for a base hit. Ty Poor rounds third. He'll head on home. There will be no play at the plate, but there will be a play at second base. And Nick Chenez will get in there with an RBI 2-out double. And the Red Raiders have put on 3 runs here in the bottom of the first inning.
I mean, we've just been praising the Red Raiders this inning with their quick defense and efficient offense, and they just keep continuing to execute so well.
They execute to perfection as the first baseman in today's ball game. Connor Wise gets ready to step up for his first plate appearance. The 7-hole hitter, and he'll take strike 1 right down the middle. That ball just looped over Jacob Aberg's head at second base. The 0-1 will be swung on and missed. It'll be an 0-2 count here for the starting first baseman today. As Petty shakes off Poston. Comes set. Curveball misses high and outside. We've got a 1-2 count here with runners on second with 2 outs. The 1-2. That ball will be skied high in the air, and Colt Davis will corral that one through for the 3rd out of the ball game. But not after the Red Raiders get 3 runs on 3 hits and leave 1 man left on base. The Bombers got to go into the top of the second thinking they got to get some runs right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Top of the second inning here as the Bombers are now working down in a 3-0 deficit after the Red Raiders put up 3 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the first. But we'll see if Jacob Aberg and crew can get some things rolling here, as he will swing and miss at strike 1. And Spreitzer continues to throw some gas out there on the mound. Like mentioned, apologize for technical difficulties here earlier in the broadcast. Things are up and running now and should be smooth sailing for the rest of semifinal Saturday. 1-on-1. That ball will be grounded out to short. The pick over at first, and it'll be a bang-bang play, and that'll be a ground out after the nice pick at short by Ty Beasley, and gets the speedy Aberg in time for out number 1.
Now batting, the first baseman from Wayne State College, number 4,
Colt Davis, the starting first baseman, who caught the 3rd out in the bottom of the first. First pitch. That ball will be grounded over to third, but that'll be a foul ball. as Nick Chinez was tracking. It'll be an 0-1.
We might have to switch your adapter here soon. So already 1-on-1. Like during the next inning, let's find a different adapter.
Colt Davis crowding the home plate, gets ready for 0-1. Swings and misses at a changeup for 0-2 count.
Ready 3-on-3. We lost you again, Colt.
0-2 count ready from Spritzer. Saying he swung, yes he did. Colt Davis goes down, and that's the first strikeout of the ball game for Tyler Spritzer after Colt Davis was caught swinging.
College, number 34, Dalton Farron.
The 7-hole hitter and the starting shortstop today for the Bombers, Dalton Farron, steps up to the plate looking to get something rolling after Spritzer put down the first two batters. The first pitch. Farron fouls that one out of play overneath the abundance of fans that we have on hand at J.J. Isaacson Field. The 1. That ball will be roped into center field. Chris Calhoun will camp underneath that one. A can of corn for the Red Raiders, and Tyler Spritzer, no runners on no hits. And we go to the bottom of the second, and the Red Raiders look to capitalize on their 3-0 advantage already right here on the CBLN.
And due up for the Red Raiders.
Ty Beasley will lead things off for the Red Raiders in the bottom half of the second as the Red Raiders look to get some more runs on the board. But they had a pretty dominant bottom of the first.
Yeah, if the Bombers really want a shot at winning here, they got to clean some things up. I mean, giving up 3 runs in the very first inning is not what you want to do against a team like the Red Raiders.
The Bombers only have 1 hit so far, opposed to the Red Raiders 3. Aaron Petty still out on the mound for Beasley, Mache, and Schubert. And the first pitch to Beasley will be in there for strike 1.
And the Red Raiders being able to work so cleanly, 3 hits, 3 runs, I think that's really what has set them so high in this standings here. I mean, you know, playing against teams that, you know, like earlier, leave 12 runs 12 hits without a run, you know, on the field. If you're a team like the Red Raiders and you're able to
apologize for the technical difficulties once again, as we are battling some audio problems up here in the press box. We apologize for the inconvenience, and we are working in an efficient and timely manner to get things running as smoothly as possible for you guys. If you stick tight with us, we promise we will give you the best quality broadcast that we can on this exciting and very fun semifinal Saturday. But the Bombers are up to the plate, and so far things haven't been so exciting for them, as the Bombers engage Allen, look to get things going after the Red Raiders have put up 3 runs so far in this ball game. We're in the top of the third, and Gage Allen will take ball 1 high. It'll be a 1-1 count. Like mentioned, we apologize for the technical difficulties and the inconvenience. As the pitch will be a little bit outside for ball 2.
I think the nice weather was almost too good to be true.
Yeah.
There to be some flaws to the stream in the game today.
Jinxing us a little bit. It was working when it was hot, and then when it's nice outside, it decides to shut down.
This power cord is shot.
The 3-1. Skied high into right field, and that ball will be caught, and there will be no tag. Good play over there in right field by J.J. Schubert. Corrals that one for the first out of the inning for the Red Raiders here in the top of the third. And Tyson McAlexander, the 10 hitter, number 27. A righty-on-righty matchup with 1 out, and Josh Poston, his courtesy runner, leading off of second here, and the Bombers are looking to start clipping back a little bit at this Red Raiders advantage. First pitch, McAlexander shows bunt, misses the bunt, and that'll be a strike 1 swinging. See if McAlexander shows bunt again right here on the 0-1. Does not, and he will hack at it and foul that one right here over the press box. It'll be an 0-2 count. We got an 0-2 count here for Tyson McAlexander.
We got you back. All right, cool. You're good. 2, you're good. So right now we're working with 2 and 3.
The 0-2 to McAlexander. Good stop by Bizboy. That ball will be outside for ball number 1. It'll be a 1-2 count here for McAlexander.
Sorry, thank you.
Ready 3 on 3? 1-2. That ball will be fouled right back into the netting. That ball would have came right up here at the press box. Still have not caught a ball up here in the press box. Unless, while I was on vacation, something came close.
A ball did hit the window. It hit the 4th window on the left, but since it was scorching hot out, couldn't get it.
That ball will be popped into foul territory, and Connor Wise gives a good run at it, cannot corral that in, and Tyson McAlexander will get a chance to do the 1-2 once again.
1, we have you back. 2, we got you back.
But there was a real shot there if that window was open a little bit. Yeah, like it usually is, but due to the blazing heat, no windows were open at all. So it was a close call. It was a close call yesterday.
Yeah, the heat was ablaze for sure. You probably could have cooked a raw turkey out there. It was so hot. The 1-2 to McAlexander. That ball will be roped into left field. Shallow left field. Good job by the Red Raider shortstop, Ty Beasley. That'll be the second out of the inning. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. The left fielder in today's ball game, number 17, Cam Madsen, will get things going here with 2 outs and a runner on second. Spitzer has been dominant so far here in this one. He's only given up 1 hit. We'll see if Cam Madsen can make it 2. The first pitch in the at-bat, a little bit outside for ball number 1. 1-0 count. Like mentioned, a nice little crowd on hand for some semifinal Saturday. as that ball will be in there for strike one, as Cam Matson was wishing that he would have swung at that pitch. That pitch was right down the meat pipe. Matson, the 1-1, will sky that one out of play and into the crowd, and it'll hit behind the bleachers, and we'll do 1-2 here. Matson is 0 for 1 in today's ball game with the ground out to short in his last at bat, which came in the top of the first. The 1-2. Little bit high, and it'll miss up high for ball number 2. Spitzer comes set, looks back at second. The 2-2 pitch. That ball will be hit high. Brisboy throws the mask off, gets underneath that one for out number 3. Good play behind the dish by Dylan Brisboy, and Tyler Spitzer and crew continue to roll as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and they look to tack on to their 3-0 advantage right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field as we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning here. And we go back to the top of the order here for the Red Raiders as Blair Spees gets ready to lead things off. The bottom of the 3rd, and he shows bunt. Third baseman comes charging in. Blair Spees is fast, but that throw was a little bit quicker. Good play over there at the hot corner by Nick Ripa, as that's a big first out of the inning for the Omaha Bombers.
Yeah, the Bombers are doing a great job of cleaning up since their first inning, which they, unfortunately for them, gave up 3 runs to the Red Raiders. So cleaning it up last inning, they were able to put that bunt to rest real quickly there.
100% agree, and you can tell Aaron Petty had settled in after ball 1 outside right there to Chris Calhoun, who singled and later came around to score. He scored the first run of the ball game for the Red Raiders.
We're on 3. We're on 1, we lost you. I swear, dude,
The
I
1-0.
cannot do this.
Be a little bit low for ball 2.
Colton, this is not on you. This has to be the HDMI cord. Because this was doing the same thing yesterday. Do we have another 25-foot cord? Checking that back.
The 2-0. That ball will be skied high. Colt Davis will call off his pitcher, and that ball will be brought in for out number 2. A couple quick pitches, and we've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd, and Aaron Petty has settled in.
Now batting.
The 3-hole hitter, number 18, Braden Jackson, steps up to the plate. One of the only lefties that the Red Raiders will show Aaron Petty here today.
Let's do that right now. Yeah, we're gonna
The first pitch to Jackson is down in the dirt for ball number 1.
Let's make sure we don't hit a bunch of people. Just let the people know that we're grabbing something real quick.
The 1-0. A nice breaking ball from Aaron Petty will drop in there for strike number 1. We got a 1-1 count here to Braden Jackson. The 1-1. The breaking ball catches the plate once again. Nice pitch from Aaron Petty, and he's up 1-2 on Braden Jackson. The 1-2. Swung on and missed by Braden Jackson as Aaron Petty gets the 3-up, 3-down inning for the Bombers, and they look to use the momentum that they've gained going into the top of the fourth right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field, the host of Semifinal Saturday, and you get to look at the vintage scoreboard that we have here at J.J. Isaacson Field. As you can see, it is a 3-0 ball game, and all of the Red Raiders' runs came in the bottom of the first inning. And since then, they have gone scoreless. And we go to the top of the fourth inning with the Bombers getting ready to get things cooking here. It's Nick Ripa, Carson Wright, and Tommy Rowland due up here for the Bombers. As Ripa takes ball one inside, Ripa in his last at-bat doubled and did not come around to score. He got stranded on third base in his last at-bat.
Perfect. All right, cool. I think we're good.
The 1-0. In there for strike one. Nice pitch from Tyler Spitzer, and he knots the count up at 1-1.
Should be okay. Oh, Colton, we're still on you here. You're good. Two, let's kick that shot.
Ripa's your starting third baseman today for the Bombers. Swing and a miss for strike number 2, and Ripa was a little bit early on the pitch, and he is down 1-2 here early. The 1-2. A little bit high for ball 2, knots the count up at 2-2. That ball will be roped out of play. That ball was hit very hard, and it'll be out of play, and we'll do the 2-2 once again.
3-2 on 2. Ian, whenever they get a hit, don't zoom out as much. Like I know you're zooming out, so you have to.
This is one of those days where you got to get on your feet, you know.
Most definitely. You're not having the sun suck up all the energy out of you.
Right. As the 2-2 pitch is in the dirt, it's a full count now to Nick Ripa. He's battled a lot up there at the plate. Handling adversity is something that this Bombers team has done all year. They come in as the 7 seed. The full count pitch. That ball will be fouled out of play once again near the front gate to the facility. And we'll do the full count pitch once again.
You don't have to do all the fancy crap I do. I can do the basics. Well, all I do is I go to this.
The full count pitch. That ball will be grounded over to third. A high hop. That ball will be missiled on over to first. The play, the bang, bang play. Good job by Nick Shanez and Connor Wise as they get the first out of the ball game, or first out of the inning, excuse me, for out number 1.
Yeah, great work there over at third base. You know, a really awkward high bounce from that ground ball there, but you know, being able to corral it in, is able to sling it over to first base really quickly to get that seemingly easy out.
And Shanez did a really good job corralling that high hop, still giving him enough time to get the ball over, as we've got a little meeting here with the umpires as head coach for the Bombers thinks that he might have been safe, but we don't have a replay system. We got to go to Connor Shelton, our designated replay guy who is slacking. I'm going to say he's still out.
You know, next year at the Corn Belt League, we'll have to get Connor on replay, or maybe relay a call over to New York to get some real officialing going while doing our PA system too. So he's a man of many talents, Connor Shelton.
He 100% is, as Carson Wright takes ball one in the dirt. It'll be a 1-0 count here early for Wright. Carson Wright, the 1-0. In the dirt, good stop by Brisboy. No one on base, though, doesn't have to worry. 2-0 count here for Mr. Carson Wright. Like mentioned earlier, we got a good crowd on hand. There's a dog in the crowd today. You know, it's an Ethan broadcast when dogs are on the air.
Of course.
The 2-0 is in there for strike one. Good job by Spitzer on painting the inner half of the plate. For Carson Wright, it's a 2-1 count. I love dogs. I'm a big dog guy. Canines are my thing.
You know, dog feeling the heat a little bit, kind of cooling under the bleachers. Can't blame him.
2-2 count here after the outside strike as Spitzer has battled from 2-0, and he's now tied the count up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. That ball will be grounded on over to Braden Jackson. Corrals it, throws it on over to first in time for out number 2 as Spitzer continues his work out on the mound as we've gotten 2 up, 2 down here, but Tommy Rowland looks to flip the script and get things rolling here for the Bombers.
Yeah, the Bombers still getting contact on the ball, but the Red Raiders are showing even more efficient defense. You know, they may have only scored all of their runs in the first inning, but it doesn't matter if their defense is able to hold off the Bombers as well as they have been today.
As the lefty Tommy Rowland takes ball one in the dirt. Been really impressed with how Spritzer's been able to battle back from counts. Is the 1-0. Just misses outside for ball number 2. That ball was almost painted on the lines, but was just a little bit outside. The 2-0. Misses just outside once again as we've got a 3-0 count here, and we'll see if Tommy Rowland has the green light here on the 3-0. The lefty gets ready to take the 3-0. Misses for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk for Tommy Rowland, and the Bombers have runners on first here with 2 outs, and up steps Jacob Aberg looking to keep things rolling here in the bottom of the 4th, or excuse me, top of the 4th. Aberg in his last at bat grounded out to shortstop in the top of the 2nd inning. Rowland gets a decent little lead off of first. Spritzer comes set with the first pitch. Misses a little bit outside as Brisboy continues to be a brick wall behind the plate. Nothing really gets by Brisboy on a game-by-game basis.
All right, Brisboy is showing great work on defense and on offense. You know, giving an RBI single in the first inning and then doing great work behind the plate, not letting much get past him so that the Red Raiders give up unnecessary, movement on the plates or even runs for the Bombers there.
I think Brisboy might be one of the most complete pound-for-pound catchers we have here in the Corn Belt League.
Most definitely.
As the 2-0 as Rowland gets a small lead off of first. That ball will be in there for strike number 1, a lower half of the zone strike, but it catches the zone nonetheless for strike number 1. 2-1 count here for Aberg. The 2-1. That ball will be skied high into right field. J.J. Schubert gets underneath that one for out number 3. Not quite 3 up, 3 down, but it's the next best thing. No runs on no hits for the Bombers in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and the Red Raiders are looking to tack on to their lead right here on the CBL edge. back to J.J. Isaacson Field here for some Corn Belt League action right here on semifinal Saturday. Dylan Brisboy will lead things off for the Red Raiders. It'll be Brisboy, Austin Sheaver, and Nick Shinez.
Yeah, Brisboy in the first inning coming off of a RBI single is hoping to continue some great work here in the batter's box.
Dylan Brisboy swings and misses at strike number 1. It'll be an 0-1 count. Mr. Brisboy's got 3 home runs to his ledger this season. 0-1. That ball is absolutely roped. Colt Davis takes the bad hop, and we'll just walk that one over to first for out number 1. That was an absolute rocket ship missile, but Colt Davis was able to get it.
Yeah, it was perfect timing there, but it was pulled a little too hard there, so, couldn't really get a gap there that he needed to get a base hit single or double there.
It's like an MLB The Show where you get a perfect and it's an out. That's infuriating.
Yes, it is. It was great. It was great contact there. You really hear the crack of the bat.
Ball 1. The 1-0 here to Austin Sheaver. Sheaver looks at strike 1. Beautiful pitch by Aaron Petty, who has really settled in since that bottom of the first inning where he gave up 3 runs, has looked excellent since then.
Yeah, he's held off the Red Raiders really well. He hasn't given up any hits and thus runs. So, yeah, great work there.
And he continues to dot up the strike zone, and the last pitch was evidence of that. It's his 1-0 count, or excuse me, a 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch to Sheaver. Sheaver just fouls that one off. Good job staying alive by Austin Sheaver, and we'll do the 1-2 pitch once again. Sheaver settles into the box, getting ready to deliver or receive the 1-2. The 1-2. Inside for ball 2. It'll be a 2-2 count. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Ethan McCormick, joined alongside Jackson Ingvoldstad. We've had some technical difficulties, but we're cooking with fire now here on the Corn Belt League Network.
Yeah, stream's working really well right now, as Ethan promised you earlier.
As Tyson McAlexander gets underneath that one for out number 2, as that ball was hit very well by Austin Sheaver. 2 up, 2 down here for the Bombers and Aaron Petty. As Nick Shinez will be the third batter of the bottom of the 4th. Dog cam right here on the Corn Belt League Network. My heart is happy and everything is good in the world.
A little golden retriever there. Some of the happiest dogs you'll ever meet, golden retrievers.
I love dogs. I love dogs. But Aaron Petty, since the bottom of the 1st, has had that dog in him. And it has been cruise control for both pitchers so far since that 1st inning.
Golden retrievers are great dogs. They're very nice, everyone I've ever met, but
that ball is roped down the line. That'll be a fair ball as Nick Shinez rounds first, heading to second. It'll be a bang play at the second base, and he will be tagged out after the left fielder for the Bombers, Cam Madsen, came up firing and delivered the throw to second and guns him down at second. There'll be no runs on 1 hit. No runners left on for the Red Raiders. We go to the top of the 5th, and the Bombers look to get some more things rolling here. Well, welcome back, folks. It's the top of the 5th inning right here on the Corn Belt League Network, and we've got a 3-0 ball game as the Red Raiders have been on cruise control since this game has started, and the Bombers look to get some things rolling.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of action here ever since the 3-run inning put on by the Red Raiders, and we've been moving pretty quickly in this baseball game as we're here at the top of the 5th inning.
He's got to make a correction. It's not Colt Davis. It's Cade Davis. That's my apologies, as the lineup we get doesn't have numbers on it, so I got a little confuzzled, and confuzzled. Well, Cade Davis takes strike one, and it's a 0-1 count here for Cade Davis. As it'll be in there for strike number 2. And Cade Davis has got an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss as Spritzer throws the gas right by Davis. That'll be the first out of the inning for the Red Raiders. And Spritzer continues to dominate the Bombers, only giving up 1 hit up to this point, as number 34, Dalton Farron, will step up to the plate. Dalton Farron in his last at-bat flew out to center field.
Yeah, Spritzer's really putting on a clinic right now. You know, he's given up 1 hit in 4 innings and just delivered another out in this top of the 5th.
As Farron grounds that one to the pitcher, the bare hand by Spritzer throws on to first. Beautiful play coming off the mound by Tyler Spritzer. The bare hand guns him down at first for out number 2. Pitchers can field too, and that's a prime example from that young man out on the mound.
Right, if throwing into a strike zone is hard, then slinging it to his own man on first, he's making it look quite easy.
That was a Gold Glove caliber play. The Bombers just can't break through as Josh Poston looks to be the guy that breaks the wall. As he fouls that one back into the backstop, it'll be an 0-1 count. There's a song. It's a WWE theme song by Chris Jericho. The name of the song is Break the Walls. The Bombers need to start breaking the walls, but Josh Poston, in the meantime, has to get out of the way of some sweet chin music coming out his head.
Yeah, the Bombers are bombing that song. They're not really doing. They're not breaking on through to the other side like they need to.
As Poston fouls that one back into the netting, it'll be a 1-2 count for Josh Poston. Josh Poston gets ready for the 1-2 pitch from Tyler Spritzer. The 1-2. Just missed off the plate for what could have been strike 3, but instead it'll be ball 2. 2-2. That ball will be fouled into play. There's a chance for it, but that ball will drop for a foul ball, and we'll do the 2-2 once again. Connor Weiss had an opportunity to get over there, but the ball was just a little bit out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, top of the 5th inning here. 2 outs for Josh Poston. And he looks to keep this top half of the inning alive as Spritzer sets off the mound, gives himself a little bit of a breather. The 2-2. Just misses high after the nice-looking breaking ball. We've got a full count as Poston has really battled up at the plate. He's really worked the pitch count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Spritzer delivers the full count pitch. And there for strike 3. Spritzer continues to be the biggest dog in this park, and he gets another strikeout as we go to the bottom of the 5th. After Spritzer has just dominated out on the mound as we go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Red Raiders look to tack on to their lead right here on the Corn Belt League Network. to J.J. Isaacson Field, my friends, for some semifinals Saturday right here on the Corn Belt League Network. I'm Ethan McCormick. That's Jackson Ingvoldstad, and we've got a good one on hand here as the Red Raiders have put up 3 runs in the first but have been held scoreless since. As Aaron Petty delivers strike 1 to Connor Watts.
First pitch, first strike to retaliate against the absolute clinic that Spritzer of the Red Raiders has been pitching for us tonight.
Really, since that first inning, it's been a pitching clinic for both pitchers. They've both been settled in. They look good. They're feeling comfortable out on the mound. And it really has been a great pitching performance from both sides since that inning.
Yeah, they're both showing a lot of control with their pitching. They're getting their placement down, and if any batters are getting contact on their pitches, it's a pretty quick ground out or fly out that's easy to handle for the defense.
This game's had a good pace to it, but we're going to knock on wood because we know, if you say that, you got to knock on wood because it could slow down, but that's okay. The 1-1 will be grounded on over to short. Farron controls the hop, throws on over to first for out number 1. Nice play by the 6th man, Dalton Farron, and that'll be the out number 1.
And exactly, if he's not going to strike out a batter, he's going to make sure that he's getting grounded out for sure.
As Aaron Petty, since giving up 3 earned runs in the first, has settled in, has struck out 4 batters, has initiated ground balls, has let his defense work behind him, and the Bombers have no errors up until this point. Ty Beasley steps up to the plate, takes ball 1 a little bit inside, leans back, almost could do the limbo with that lean back, but does not, and it's a 1-0 count. The 1-0 to Ty Beasley. Ty Beasley will ground that one on over to third. Ripa throws it on over in time for out number 2. Quick 2 up, 2 down here for Aaron Petty here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Zoom in all the way you can. One, we're still on you. Keep following it. Ready, 2, on.
Now batting, the extra hitter from Concordia University, number 23, Jaden Mache.
As Jaden Mache will step up to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Mache comes from Concordia University. A lot of guys in the Corn Belt League from there.
As Mache chops at that one, but it'll drop for a base hit right in front of the right fielder. That'll be a 2-out single for Jaden Mache. That keeps the bottom of the 5th inning alive here for the Red Raiders.
Number 16, J.J. Schubert.
As J.J. Schubert steps up to the plate here, looking to keep it rolling here as the 10-hole hitter and the right fielder looks to keep things alive. Mache leads off at first, and Schubert holds at a high ball 1.
Ready, 2, on 2.
We've got a 1-0 count here ready for J.J. Schubert. Mache getting a decent lead off at first, and the ball is a little bit inside. Mache does not go. It'll be 2-0. Schubert ready for the 2-0. Petty comes set. Low and a little bit outside. It'll be a 3-0 here for J.J. Schubert. This whole game, we have not seen anyone warming up in the bullpen for either side. Both pitchers so far, both teams, with their original pitchers through 5 innings. The 3-0, Mache is off and running. It'll be a ball 4. There will be no throw down, as that'll be a 4-pitch walk for J.J. Schubert. As we go back to the top of the order here for Blair Speeds.
Now that the Red Raiders have finally put themselves in scoring position for the first time in a very long time, they're hoping to end their 3-inning run drought.
As Blair Speeds, like you said, looks to break the scoring drought here in this ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. And he takes strike 1 a little bit inside. Speeds doesn't like the call. It'll be an 0-1 count with runners on first and second. We got J.J. Schubert leading off of first, and we have got Jaden Mache leading off of second. Petty delivers the 0-1. That ball will be hacked at and fouled right in front of the Red Raiders dugout. It'll be an 0-2 count.
Ready, 2, on 2.
Petty has a couple pitches to work with. Doesn't have to throw his meanest pitch right here on the 0-2. The 0-2. So we got a time from Blair Spees, and Petty has to redo his thing.
Yeah, the Red Raiders one from us. Oh, hell yeah. I ended up
The 0-2 from Petty. That ball will be just fouled off by Blair Spees as he stays alive.
ready 2-1-2.
We'll do the 1-2.
Actually, yeah. Let's go 3-on-3. Everyone zoom in on the 980, please. Ready 2-1-2. All right, ready 1-on-1.
Poston and Petty talking out on the mound.
Ready 2-1. We're live on you. We're live on you.
Thank you for tuning in to this semifinal Saturday right here on the Corn Belt League Network. We've got a good ball game on hand here as the Red Raiders put up 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. But Petty looks to deliver the 0-2. That ball will be roped high into right field. Carson Wright will camp underneath that one, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and the Bombers look to start getting some runs on. They've got 6 out remaining until they are running out of their chances right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Top of the 6th inning, and the Bombers are looking to get things cooking here on semifinal Saturday as Spritzer has dominated out on the mound. You know the phrase, who let him cook? I'm glad they let him cook. He's been balling out there on the mound today. I'm cooking right now.
Cooking on the mic. Who let Ethan McCormick cook? We did.
As the first ball is grounded on over, as Nick Chinez has plenty of enough time to get that on over for the first out. It took 1 pitch, and we got 1 out right here in the top of the 6th. Who let him cook? I let myself cook.
You know someone let Ethan McCormick cook if we're broadcasting dogs talking about food, or if he's calling someone else on the field a dog. That's when McCormick's cooking.
That's when McCormick's cooking, as that ball will be skied high behind the plate, and Dylan Brisboy gets that one out for out number 2. We've seen 2 pitches, 2 outs. Could we get an immaculate 3-pitch inning?
No, because you just said that.
I knocked on wood.
Top of the order, the left fielder, Macy Collins, number 17.
Cross your fingers here.
My fingers have been crossed since birth for this moment.
With how well Spritzer's been pitching, I would not be surprised.
That ball will be fouled off into play. I got excited, but it dropped for a foul ball. I don't get excited about many things in life besides mac and cheese, dogs, and a potential 3-pitch inning.
Ready 2-on-2.
I get excited about 4 things. Those 3 and then Connor Shelton.
Connor Shelton, our PA guy. A legend up in the press box. You might hear him at Storm Chasers games. As that ball will be swung on into play. J.J. Schubert gets underneath that one, dives for it. It gets by J.J. Schubert. And Cam Matson will round first, and he'll head to second. That'll be a stand-up double after the diving effort by J.J. Schubert. And that prolongs the inning for the Bombers.
Great hustle there on towards right field, but just couldn't get enough juice, enough launching power to get to that ball. But so instead he'll lead in a double.
We were talking about hearing Connor at Storm Chasers games. Well, I haven't heard him because I haven't been to a Storm Chasers game. That ball will be skied high. As Braden Jackson fights the sun, gets it in his mitts for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Bombers have 3 more chances. They got to control things here in the bottom of the 6th, right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field, and we've got not too much more of this ball game left. If the Bombers only have 3 outs remaining to get 3 runs to tie, 4 to win. But first, they need to control things here in the bottom of the 6th inning as the Red Raiders can do every bit of damage here still in the bottom of the 6th to propel and advance their lead here. We got Chris Calhoun, Braden Jackson, and Dylan Brisboy, 2, 3, 4 due up here for the Red Raiders in the bottom of the 6th. And I want it to be known I have not sat down since the 2nd inning.
That is true.
As Chris Calhoun gets the bunt down, Aaron Petty comes off the mound, not in time. Beautiful bunt by Chris Calhoun as he lays it perfectly between the pitcher, the catcher, and the first baseman. And that'll be a bunt single to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. You know what one of my biggest pet peeves with current day announcers is when a hitter swings and he doesn't go completely through with the swing and they say it's a swinging bunt. I hate the phrase swinging bunt. A bunt and a swing are 2 different things in my opinion.
I agree
You
with
can't
that.
have a swinging bunt. I do not like that. You could make the argument that a check swing that gets in play counts, but Chris Calhoun often running the double play ball goes out of order. Good job by Braden Jackson on disrupting the double play, and that'll be out number 1 at first base. But kind of go back what we were saying. Also, I also hate the pitch, the sweeper. A sweeper is a slider. Call it a slider, or it's a slurve. You got to call it what it actually is. A sweeper is what a slider does. It sweeps.
I agree with that. Yeah, sliders are much more. It rolls off the tongue a lot nicer than a sweeper. You know, that's just trying to be. I feel like that's trying to be too smart about that.
A sweeping curveball is a slurve. That's a slider curveball. That's exactly what a sweeper is. That's what a slurve does. A slurve is a sweeper.
I love throwing a good old slider in the show. I never played baseball in my life, but I'm a big show guy.
Chris Calhoun is off. Oh, that was a close play at third base. It looked like he was out. And the home plate guy, Josh Poston, wanted the out call. It looked like he got him by at least a step or two, and you can hear the Bombers dugout just upset with that call. They thought they had him dead to rights at third base, but still on base nonetheless for Chris Calhoun. 1-1 count here for Dylan Brisboy. Catcher at the plate, catcher behind the plate, and Aaron Petty gets ready to deliver the 1-1. Steps out. Got to go to New York to review that one. I think if we go to New York, that call gets overturned as Dylan Brisboy watches ball 2 sweep across the plate inside. I think he was out personally. I thought he got him out in plenty of time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't think it was too close. I feel like it was definitely a questionable call. I can't disagree with the Bombers being upset about that one right there.
The 2-1 to Brisboy. That ball will be inside. Once again, it'll be a 3-1 count as that breaking ball from Petty is coming across the plate a little too much. It'll be a 3-1 count for Aaron Petty to Dylan Brisboy. The 3-1 pitch to Dylan Brisboy, the ever so dangerous Dylan Brisboy. It'll be in the dirt for ball 4. Dylan Brisboy draws a 5-pitch walk. And we got runners at the corners now with Chris Calhoun leading off at third and Dylan Brisboy on first.
Now batting, the designated hitter. University, number 29, Austin Schieber. Your attention, please, courtesy runner at first base. From Nebraska Wesleyan University, number 2, Ty Poor.
Ty Poor is a courtesy runner here at first base. Austin Schiever steps up to the plate, takes ball 1 outside. As Wes King goes out to talk to Aaron Petty as we've got some movement going on in the Bombers bullpen. The first movement we've seen between both teams so far in the ball game in their respective bullpens. We've got about 3 or 4 Bombers up in the bullpen. It'll be interesting to see who's actually warming up over there. We've got 3 guys, but we'll get a number to you once we can get that available. This just gives time for Wes King to go out there and allow his pitcher to warm up a little bit. It'll be number 10 for the Bombers out on the mound. As like mentioned, the Bombers and the Red Raiders have stayed out of the bullpen. Mike Maheka will be warming up in the bullpen for the Bombers. As Joe Siwa is battling a Hornet. The Hornets at this time of the year are insane, but Joe Siwa is just out there hosing that thing. That poor Hornet does not stand a chance.
Maybe he's just spraying the bullpen. He's mixing up a bomber for a Hornet. Vision might not be in check.
As Joe Siwa just went to town on that Hornet. But we've got runners on second and third here in this ball game.
That might be one of the greatest camera shots we've got all season. So I appreciate it.
The pitch, it'll be held back in time. It'll be a 3-1 count here for Austin Schiever. Or excuse me, 2-1.
You're like leaning on that fence over there. I felt so bad for you. Hey, anything for the shot. Anything for
I
the
look
shot.
over and there's a guy on the ground on the mound, like squirming around. There's a bunch of dust flying. He runs
The 2-1 to Schiever. That ball will be swung on and missed for strike number 2. We got a 2-2 count here, as this would be a big out number 3 for Aaron Petty, keeping his Bombers in the grips of the Red Raiders here going to the top of the 7th. That ball will be fouled back into the netting behind home plate. We'll do the 2-2 once again.
2.
I don't think you know what the word means.
2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Drops off the plate, but it'll be in there for a ball. So it'll be a full count here for Aaron Petty. First base is open. We've got runners on second and third. Chris Calhoun leads off at third.
Yes.
Brisboy leads off a second with Ty Porter in as his courtesy runner. Sheever for the full count pitch. Gets inside for ball 4. Great at bat by Austin Sheever. We've got bases loaded here for the Red Raiders, and Nick Shinez has an opportunity to really break this game open for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the Red Raiders are exactly where they want to be. They only got 1 out in the inning here, and if they can get some extra runs here and then play some good defense at the top of the 7th, that's all she wrote for tonight.
The first pitch with bases loaded is fouled up out of play. That ball will head into the parking lot as Petty gets up early 0-1.
Green over here. We've dropped a lot of frames. These are big.
The 0-1. In there for strike 2. The beautiful breaking ball from Aaron Petty sets him up here early, up 0-2. Petty delivers the 0-2. That was swung on and missed. The clutch strikeout by Aaron Petty delivers a huge second out for the Bombers. Bases are still loaded as Aaron Petty with a big 0-2 strikeout. But Connor Wees still has an opportunity.
Yeah, big missed opportunity there for the Red Raiders. You know, fully loaded bases, only 1 out. You got a lot to work with. But now that there's 2 outs, you know, you're a little more confined in what you can do here if you're a Red Raider.
As Petty settles in and delivers a beautiful breaking ball in there for strike number 1. As the adversity is stacked on Aaron Petty, the 0-1. That ball will be fouled and out of play. That ball will go near the front gate. It'll be an 0-2 count here for Connor Weeds. The 0-2 from Petty. Swung on and missed. Aaron Petty gets back-to-back strikeouts to work out of the bases-loaded jam, keeping the Bombers in this game as we go to the top of the 7th, and they've got 3 outs remaining to see if they can advance on to the championship game tomorrow evening. We've got 3 outs left right here on the Corn Belt League Network. I've seen a lot of fashion in my days, folks, but that is peak fashion as we get all sorts of fashion coming out, as that is Tristan Brandt from the Omaha Filth Ballers, who just decided to come up with the drip.
Yeah, quite the combo there for Brandt. You know, great luxuriant hair, and the lax with the cowboy hat there too.
As Nick Shinez cannot corral the ground ball, that'll be an error. That'll be an E5, and the Bombers have something cooking here on the stove. Runners on first, no outs. As Tommy Rowland, the 4-hole hitter, can keep things alive here for the Bombers. We got a runner at first. Carson Wright after the error by Nick Shinez. Runners on first. The pitch, it'll be up high for ball 1. Tommy Rowland needs to stay as patient as possible. Tommy Rowland is 0 for 2 in this ball game. The first, it'll be in there for a ball. Dylan Brisboy with the gun. Got him out at second base. The blocked ball by Dylan Brisboy, and throws an absolute missile to get a running Carson Wright for the big first out of the top of the 7th inning. A pivotal base running error could be the make or break for the Bombers here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, a real mistake there for the Bombers, but also great awareness by the Red Raiders, able to close out that tag up there on second.
As the first strike is in there, it's a 2-1 count here to Tommy Rowland, who now has nobody on. It's a blank canvas, and he can get things going here for the Bombers. As he pops that one into right field, J.J. Schubert gets track of it, moves a couple steps to his right, and that's out number 2 for the Red Raiders. They've got one more out. The Bombers are down to their last out, and it all falls on Jacob Aberg.
Yeah, the Bombers got to have, they have to get 3 runs here within this last out at least to keep their hope, to keep their season alive here in the playoffs. And if they are able to score, it'd be the first run for either team since the bottom of the first by the Red Raiders.
Spreitzer with the beautiful breaking ball in there for strike 1. Spreitzer has the opportunity to go a complete game. And he would be throwing a complete game shutout. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit high. Great break on that ball, but it was a little bit high and inside for ball number 1. We've got ourselves an even count at 1 apiece. The 1-1. That ball will be fouled out of play into the parking lot, right over the front gate's head. We've got a 1-2 count, and if we were at an MLB stadium or college stadium, the crowd would get up and start clapping. Nonetheless, the 1-2 from Spreitzer, the kick, the delivery. It'll be high for ball 2, knotting the count up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A trip to the championship on the line. That ball will be fouled out of play. The Red Raiders can smell the championship right in front of them. They just need Spreitzer to go out there and give them their best pitch right here. Spreitzer, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The delivery in the dirt for ball 3. Good eye by Jacob Aberg, staying alive, working the count. The Bombers are 100% not out of this. Magic could still be in the air for Wes King, Micah Blackman, and the Bombers. The full count pitch ready from Spreitzer. That ball will be grounded over to Braden Jackson at second. The throw on over to first, and the Red Raiders are going to the championship game tomorrow evening. Tyler Spreitzer with the complete game shutout, giving up only 2 hits, leads the Red Raiders to the 6 o'clock championship game right here at J.J. Isaacson Field. What a performance from Tyler Spreitzer and the Red Raiders. What a pitching performance we saw from Tyler Spreitzer out there on the mound today.
Aside from giving up 2 hits, he had almost a perfect performance. You can't really ask for much more from your pitcher than that. Giving up no runs while the offense can't really get their groove going in 5 other innings aside from the first where they weren't able to score any runs. That's just being able to have a pitcher that can have such control and can keep their composure over such a long amount of time is something that's so important, and that is part of the reason why the Red Raiders will be going to the championship tomorrow night.
Tyler Spritzer will be our player of the game, and the Red Raiders will be awaiting the winner of the Filth Ballers and Royal Blue Dogs game, which will be coming up right after this ball game. Stay tuned for that game coming up here in about an hour and a half. Well, when we come back, we'll give you your player of the game interview with Tyler Spritzer, and we will get you we'll get things set up for the next game and our doubleheader semifinal action right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. The Red Raiders get a 3-0 victory, sending them to Championship Sunday tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. I'm joined alongside our player of the game, Tyler Spritzer. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks, 87 pitches, and you took them to a complete game. Was fatigue starting to set in with the heat, and what were you thinking out on the mound during that last out?
Fatigue was not really a problem because starting yesterday I was really staying hydrated, making sure I get my water in. even today, like I was drinking water on the drive here and everything. And then that last out, I mean, obviously you can tell with that 1-2 pitch, just try to blow it right past him, but then I just told, all right, let's just get the out. Let's just stop messing around. So, yeah.
Right, championship game tomorrow at 6 o'clock. You're awaiting the winner of the Filth Ballers and the Royal Blue Dogs. What is your team's motto or kind of idea or ideologies going into that championship game?
I mean, I think we all know that, like, we are a really tough team to beat. Like, I think in our last 10, we've only lost one game. The Filth Ballers, like, we hit against them last time. Same with the Blue Dogs. So, either way, I think we'll be fine. We got a great pitching staff still. We still got 2 starters, a closer, so I think we're fine.
All right, 100%. So it's a hot day like today. We've had a lot of hot weather this past week. What's your go-to way to cool down, and what do you normally do on days where it can reach over 100 degrees?
So usually, well, first I just sit in complete darkness because no sunlight whatsoever can get through. But luckily for me, I do have a pool, so nothing's better than just sitting in the pool and just laying there.
You a big cannonball guy?
I like to dive in.
Oh,
like
you're
to
a
dive.
diver.
Yeah.
Okay. Respect. Well, Red Raiders get the big 3-0 lead, taking them to Championship Sunday, led behind Mr. Tyler Spreitzer. Well, that'll do it for this broadcast. We'll set things up and get you ready for Royal Blue Dogs Filth Ballers coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes right here on the Corn Belt League Network.